Popovic and Utkus are a really great story of development that we're creating and that we'll continue to create during this season. It all started in May during our visit in Monaco when we were able to give some training sessions to the second team of Monaco, and afterwards we were able to see them playing between each other. And both Edgar and Boris have been showing that they are capable to perform at this level since then. I remember that at the end of one presentation that we were doing where we were explaining what is Cercle Bruges and the whole strategy behind our team, and I remember that if asked a question to all the players and he said, who wants to come to Cercle Bruges? And I perfectly remember that the two first players that raised their hand were Boris and Edgar, and so we decided to bring them on trial for the pre-season since day one, and since then they have been performing really well, and it's been pretty surprising and fascinating the way that they have been growing in such a short period of time. Both are national team players. Edgar has been called by the Lithuanian national team, the senior team already. Boris has been called to the U21s of Serbia, so of course that speaks about the talent that they have and the future that is ahead from them, no? And hopefully in the next seasons we can see more players like Boris and Edgar coming, developing in Cercle Bruges and really growing and becoming strong profiles. We have the fortune to have them on a permanent transfer, which grants the stability and the long-term commitment that we have here in Cercle Bruges. Jesper Dalen arrived in May, was our first transfer in this window, and he has really shown his value. First game that he played, he actually needed to switch position because he started playing in the middle of the back three, and then he needed to switch to the left because of the injury that Senna suffered. And since then he has proved his value. He has been named in the team of the week in the first week. I saw also that in the second week he was in some of the teams of the week by different newspapers. So it tells you a lot about the value. Of course, in the third game against Club Brugge, he had an unfortunate event when he had the concussion and needed to leave the game, but he has proved that he has a lot of value. He doesn't look like a 20-year-old. He has a lot of personality. He's very mature. Since the first time that Eve and I spoke with him, we were really impressed about his personality and how mature he was, and he's step by step becoming a leader in the dressing room. And he's, you know, he doesn't look like a 20-year-old on pitch that has already played 35 or 40 games in first division. He looks like he has been playing for a while already, and we're looking forward to continue to help him during this development journey and to continue to provide us some stability in the back. David Souza is a player that is coming on loan, on a 2-year loan from Botafogo. The strategy and the rationale behind doing this 2-year loan is to give him more time to adapt. We know that the change from coming from Brazil to Belgium is really big, and we didn't want to have that rush and that pressure, and we really want him to take the time to do things right. He has been struggling a little bit at the beginning with a couple of physical issues. That's why he hasn't been able to play, but definitely in the first weeks that he has been training already with the team, he's looking very good. He's really someone that looks very promising, and will help us to have a really high competition in the team. We really have very strong 6 center backs, and you know, the competition is very high, and anyone will be able to play and continue to have the same level. And in the end, this kind of competition just will raise the level of our players as individuals and of the team from a collective perspective. Ravi Matondo is a player that we have been following for a long time. We started conversations with Schalke since probably May. We knew that the situation was difficult because of the situation of Schalke and the contractual situation of Ravi. So in the end, definitely Ravi represented a market opportunity. He's a really strong profile. He's a player that, because of this situation with Schalke and these long negotiations, didn't have the chance to do a proper pre-season, and that definitely is delaying a little bit the time of seeing him in the pitch. So we didn't want to run any risk. We really want to be a physical team, and we are already at the top of the league in terms of physical output. and we want Rabbit to catch up, and we knew that if we just put him straight away on the pitch and he was just going to hit the ground running, was going to be a little bit risky for him. So we decided to take our time, to do it patiently, to do it carefully. He has been building up in the recent weeks. He was also coming from an injury, and now after international break he should be ready to start playing with the first team and reintegrate with the group and in full session. Alex was our last transfer in the window. He's a player that also we have been following for a while. We have extensive reports about him. We have a great reference from his previous coaches and the development that he's had in Villarreal. Proof of that is that he was part of the first team during the preseason, and of course that didn't make the negotiation easy. He's a player that really fits in the profile that we wanted, not only for the present but also for the future. Yeah, even though he's coming on loan, he's a player that we have a lot of hope in him, and we really believe that, you know, in the future he can stay with us. And it's surely a profile that we're sure that is going to be able to score some goals in this season, and is going to really help us to strengthen our attack. Waldo Rubio is a player that is coming from Valladolid. He's a player that has had already experience at the highest level in La Liga, playing around 40 games with Valladolid. He's a more experienced player that is also, you know, the idea is that he surrounds the talent that we have in the team and give some support with the experience that he has. And the great thing is that, you know, he has adapted very, very quickly, even though at the beginning of the preseason he was not able to join the team immediately because he was not doing a preseason before arriving. In the first two games that he played, in the first 55 minutes he scored 2 goals, and I'm really sure that he's gonna continue to make an impact. He's a great character to have around, and he's really helping everyone in every training, and also the coaches are really satisfied with him. Senna and Mianguez, same as Waldo, are coming in a different bracket in terms of the strategy that we're following. They are performers, they are young performers because they are both 24 and 26 years old, and they are players that, besides having a great talent, they also have some great experience. Senna started his career as a left back at a very young age. He went to Internazionale de Milan, and afterwards went to Cagliari after he had some loans in the Belgian league. So he really he has really had some great experience that he can share with the rest of the team, and of course he knows that this season is crucial for him, and now is really the moment to prove himself. Even though he started as a left back, now he has been reconverted since last season to a centre back, and that's why we brought him. We wanted to bring a Belgian player to the defense, and in Senna we found not only a strong profile but also a left-footed and a Belgian player that can come and really add a lot of value to the squad. First of all, Kevin Hogas was already in his last year of contract, and we found ourselves at the beginning of the season, when we were defining the system and the principles of play, that we wanted that really his profile was not really suitable to the way that we wanted to play, and we found a good market opportunity with Vaslán Beveren, and that's why we decided to do it. Also, you know, speaking with Kevin, he felt that his cycle in Cercle Bruges probably was finished, and he was already looking for a new challenge. And I think both things combined, and that's why we made the decision to let Kev go. And of course, we wish him the best success there. Aldomduer is a really young player that really needs to play, needs some minutes in order to continue developing. Here, unfortunately, he was not going to have it because of the high competition that we have, and that's why we let him go on loan. Ali Momigori had a really good season in Troyes. However, since the beginning, he was not in the plans that we have created for the squad, because we're always looking for a balance between development and performance. And we really believe that his mindset and his profile was aligned with in a different way, and that's why in the end we have decided to transfer him.